we speak to Mary?
This is her. How are you doing?
How's it going? It's Ronnie, Bumblefoot. How are you?
Good, good. Good to talk to you.
You too. Now, we met before, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Actually met at NAMM. Yeah, NAMM a couple
like
times.
2 years ago, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Exciting. You were there with, Tony Harnell. You were doing right there. Well, it's good to talk to you.
You too, definitely.
Okay, very excited about this album. 10th CD, Little Brother is Watching. It's you just released the single just this last week.
We did, yes.
Now, you got to tell us, it's definitely a great commentary on social media. Can you tell us a little bit about the title track?
Let me see. I mean, it's something that we all, it's just our everyday life. Like, this is how we live now. It's slowly become this. And it's just funny how it was not really predicted as a possible future in all the days of past. Like, no one thought that it would be something where we're the ones with the power that individually can keep tabs on the police, on exposing government, WikiLeaks, whatever it is.
Yes.
And each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting development, and it's something that's just considered normal at this point. Yet I don't think anybody really has put it officially into words.
Yes.
When it's come out and said, "Little Brother is watching," and I felt like it would be nice to just sort of make that statement and just say, "All right, let's just state the obvious." Here we are.
And it's got this great line about you're all connected but separated, misunderstood, so frustrated. That is so accurate. I love that. That's my favorite line out of there. It's true.
It's so true.
It is. I mean, especially with social media today. I mean, especially it's, with the youngsters, that this is what they've grown on. They don't know any different. For all of us, it's like, wow. I mean, it's overwhelming. But for them, it's their way of living. And it's, gosh, I'm glad I didn't have it when I was growing up.
It's interesting how the more technology we have to communicate, the less we truly communicate, because we have this buffer, whether it's providing anonymity or a lack of accountability, but we're not face to face, and we're saying things without the sensitivity that we would give if we were to somebody's face. And I think that we lose a little something with that.
Definitely, very true. That's what we see a lot of, with the youngsters, cyberbullying, all that stuff. It's I always wonder how could, like my mom used to say, it's like, why don't they just say it to your face? But they won't say that. It's all hidden by the social media, and I love it. I love the song and then the whole message behind it. And you've got some great tracks on there. I mean, it is a full album, very versatile. I love it. It's like forget the antidepressants. It's a mood elevator. I love it.
That's cool.
It is. Now, you got to tell me about one of my favorite tracks is Argentina.
Oh, nice.
Now,
cool.
Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
Definitely, it's pretty much like the epic rock song that goes through different, can you call them acts or different sections? Sort of the way an old classical piece would. Like, it has the first movement, the second movement, the third. And originally when I wrote that song, I had it in mind for Guns N' Roses. It's a song that could be a newer Estranged.
Yes.
Or November Rain or something like that, where it goes through all the different parts with a big finale at the end. And dueling guitar and vocal lines, but ultimately I felt that I needed to keep that for myself and just see it through as with my own lyrics and just how I saw it coming together. So yeah,
it's beautiful.
That one, thank you so much. It started off based musically on tango, an Argentinian tango kind of feel, and expanded from there, and it sort of goes through a love relationship and breakup, and the three stages of it, the one of coming together, and then the second section of sort of this cold, how can you say, imbalance in the relationship. One loves more than the other, or one thought one thing, the other didn't, and then ultimately in the end, how everything just ends in these games of lashing out, and how love and hate are kind of the same, but it's the same passion.
Yep.
And how it just ultimately always ends up that way, and you know that, it'll pass, but you don't know when.
Yeah, it's...
the final lines of it, and in the end, once we're forgotten, a new day will come, and the sun will shine again, but I don't know when.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful track. I mean, it is. It takes you through everything. I love that. That's definitely one of my favorite tracks. I look forward to hearing that one more, too.
Thanks.
Now, you've got to tell me, this album, you recorded it in your studio, but you actually did something quite interesting. You actually brought in 100 fans to join in. How did that happen?
Yeah. There were parts on the album that I just pictured. Well, first, I love when people sing along at shows and when the audience is part of the show.
Yeah.
And in my shows, I do that. I'll bring a bunch of people on stage around a microphone to sing something, or I jump down into the audience and just take a long guitar solo with everybody. I'll be playing with one hand and have my arm around them while we do selfies with the other, that kind of stuff. And I wanted to bring that into the record, because that's really part of just how I am with music, about the audience is part of the performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be that way in the music as well. So I wanted to capture that. We planned a listening party before the album was done, where we can record the audience doing all of that. So brought in 100 people, and I would play a song. We would talk about the song, and then I would show them the part to sing and say, okay, everyone go like this. And we would do it a few times. I would hit record on a little laptop recorder and a microphone and everything, and we would do it a couple of times, and do the next song, and then I would take it all home and put it into the song.
Oh, I love it, bringing them into that. I mean, that's the neat thing, is you really capture the feel of your fans, and you've got a very dedicated fan base. I mean, it's interesting, because they also, have they ever given you any odd things when they do see you, or were like some, what's the oddest gift you might have received from any of them?
Oh, some odd gifts. I get a lot of wonderful, beautiful, thoughtful gifts that people put so much time into.
Yeah.
It could be a sculpture, or it could be like a little doll with a long braided beard, something like that. Like really just sweet things, or jewelry. I'd say the oddest thing I got was a pair of kangaroo testicles.
Oh my gosh, that's classic. That's on the top of the list.
That was a good one. Yeah.
That is
it's
hilarious.
interesting, and it's always fun to the unexpected.
Yeah. Well, it's neat because, I mean, in today's age, I mean, that is actually also with social media, is you have that interaction, which we never had when we were growing up, where you could actually tell somebody how much their music means, and how much it's done for them. And I think that's one of the good positive things out of today, is that people do get to express their gratitude to a musician and an artist.
Totally. I mean, really, I think there's a lot of old school people that are threatened by it, and they feel like they've lost control of everything.
Yeah.
Like they feel like everybody else has a say in what part of them is given. And that could be kind of scary if you like to only give your best.
Yes.
And people are seeing you at your best, your worst, and everything in between. So you really need to just accept that, okay, I am me, I am human, and people are going to see the human being. And if you judge, that's because they're judgmental people. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't define who I am. It's just, people are going to see things through their own eyes. And they're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, depending on their own good and bad and ugly within. And you just have to be cool with that and just say, all right, this is reality. This is, now everything is getting real. It's not about mystique. It's about being real. And you got to be okay with that. And I'm cool with it. I always was. I was never into that mystique stuff and being something other than human. I like being human. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be perceived as something more or less.
Yep.
I'm a hard-working dude that's just trying to make music that comes from my soul people, and I'm just sharing it the same way I got that pleasure from all the bands that I grew up with, and I'm paying it forward.
Definitely.
Talk of days for which they soon wait. All will be revealed. All I see turns to ground.
Now, how is that? I mean, when you do finally meet some of your fans out there, and they tell you about how, your music, it hits them to the core. Some of them, I mean, it inspires them, it changes them, it can heal them through a hard process they've gone through. How is that to hear from everybody?
It makes you feel like it was all worth it.
Yeah.
All the challenges, all the obstacles, all the difficult stuff to make it happen, where sometimes you'll say, man, I should have just been an accountant. It makes it all worth it.
It is. Now, you actually have a busy month. You're going to be heading out to Thailand, I think, next week, isn't it?
Yeah, in 2 days I'm going to fly out. So I'm going to do a fundraising show for a kids' charity, and we're going to play Bike Week for 2 days. And then I have something with the U.S. Embassy that we're going to do a gig down in Bangkok. I'll come home, I'll prep the final stuff for the album release. I'm going to run out to the manufacturer and pick up the CDs. I'm going to sign 200 copies. I'm going to FedEx them to the merch people. I'm going to make sure that any shirt designs are ready to go. And then I'm going to run out to the UK and do another week and a half of stuff.
That's amazing.
Come back and do some more of everything. And then I'm going to run out to Vegas to do another rock and roll fantasy camp, which I just love.
Now that's exciting too, because I mean, how is it? Do you see when you have music has been taken out of schools even, and we're trying to get it back in? I mean, do you think how is it dealing with the technology with the children of trying to get them back into the honesty of the music and everything, which you so greatly bring out? I mean, do you see a little challenge with that?
There's a lot of good organizations that support music for kids in schools. There's Little Kids Rock is a fantastic organization that does that. They're out there, and the private sector is giving support.
Yes.
And that's great. It's doing what the government can, which is good. We're taking care of it.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely, I wish as a kid, or even as an adult, that there was something. I'm glad that there is now something like rock and roll fantasy camp.
Yes.
I mean, I can't imagine what it could have been like if I was 10 years old and would get to jam a Kiss song with one of the members of Kiss.
Wow.
Or
Exactly.
to play a Queen song with one of the members of Queen or something like that would have been life-changing. Yep. And I'm glad that something like that exists now for people.
It is amazing.
We've had a lot of fun with that. And you know what, even for me, I mean, this last one, I sang Toys in the Attic with Joe Perry. And, played Hot Blooded with Lou Gramm and sang Space Trucking with Steve Morris. How cool is that?
That is awesome. I mean, it is. It's self-serving for everybody. Everybody's getting something out of this, and they love it. And that is exciting. You're doing that next month. Isn't that next month in Vegas?
Yeah. Mandalay Bay, March 26th to 29th.
Great. We're going to have to... And also, you've been so busy. You actually also got your hot sauces. You've got your guitar. Because you're a busy man.
I got that going on. I got the Art of Anarchy album, which will be out in probably the middle of the year. I'm doing some producing, getting back to doing more of that. I mean, I produced Art of Anarchy, but I'm really getting hands-on with metal band Generation Kill, and they have this rap metal collaboration they're doing with Daryl DMC from Run DMC.
Wow.
And I'm adding some guitar tracks and mixing it and doing the final production on everything. And we're having a blast with that. We got one song done that came out great, and I'm excited to do more with them. They're fantastic.
That's great, because you actually did also remember the collaboration we loved when we met Silver with the
oh, yeah.
Great. That was a great track.
I think they just got home from doing one of the rock and roll cruises that they just did. Which one was it?
Oh, the Shiprock.
Shiprock.
Yep,
yes.
that's right. They just got, that was great.
Yeah, so cool. I love that band.
They are. We've seen them a couple years ago. We're blown away the first time we saw them, and it's like, wow. And then, do you have any more collaborations you're working on with that, with people, with other people?
Well, let me see. There's the one with Generation Kill and DMC.
Yeah.
Other than that, my focus has just been getting the solo album out and finding the best ways to share it with people and seeing how that goes, and then figuring out touring-wise what would be the best way to go.
Oh, cool.
And also slowly gearing up for the release of the Art of Anarchy album, which will happen in June-ish. May or June, probably.
So you'll definitely be able to, you're going to be touring on the solo album then, I hope.
I want to, yeah.
Okay, good. We're looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome.
Great, thanks.
Well, lastly, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience and your fans?
Oh, geez. You know, anytime I'm asked that question, my mind goes blank. I have 100 things I want to say, and then it just goes, like, erase, delete. What do I want to share? Just a big thank you. Thank you to everybody that's checking this out, for being so supportive of music. Thank you for bringing everything that's going on in the music world to the people. And, you know, you're very important. You know, you are our lifeline to everybody. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And I just hope everyone enjoys the new music, and I hope to see everybody very soon.
We do too. We look forward to seeing you out on the road, definitely. Have safe travels next week.
Great, thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.